Hi, and welcome to Tax Tip of the Week. Today we have Martijn van Hoof joining us in the S4HANA series and giving us some tips on how to handle tax determination in an S4HANA implementation. And Martijn, can you please enlighten us?
Well, thank you, Jonas, and thanks for inviting me to this S4HANA series. In this session of the Tax Tech Tip, I wanted to share some practical tips around indirect tax determination in S4HANA implementation or migration projects. And the first tip that I wanted to give is that the migration to S4HANA is actually a great trigger to rethink your setup around indirect tax determination. Where in the old days, maybe tax was not so engaged. We see now that tax departments have a much stronger seat at the table. And not only that, we also see that there are many different solutions to choose from. So besides the standard SAP tax determination framework, we have of course seen the external tax engines develop more over 15 years of time now. But we also see the SAP add-on solutions which have become more and more mature and popular over the recent years. Now, the second tip I wanted to give you is that if you are in a position where you are migrating to S4, and you are in fact rethinking your setup around indirect tax determination, that you then not only invite different vendors for the same type of solutions, but that you also invest time and invite vendors of other types of solutions. In other words, that you remain open to different types of solutions. Simply, I would say, because one type of solution is not always better than the other. It really all depends on the region in the world that you're in, and also very much how you are as an organization internally organized, and also, for example, what your budgets are. Now, to give you an example, we're seeing these days, we're seeing clients consciously choose for a tax engine in one region of the world for a business, and an SAP add-on in another region or in another business. The third tip that I wanted to give is about real-time reporting and first time right. Now, I think that we all know that indirect tax determination and compliance is becoming more and more real-time and more data-driven. And therefore, getting your transactions in your system first time right is becoming increasingly important, as there is less room and time for making corrections after the fact. And this is probably one of the better arguments for getting a stronger seat at the tax table or at the S4HANA table. And finally, to close off, I always like to say, if you're able to analyze your transactional data after the fact and identify potentially incompliant transactions, I like to think that you could have also identified them at the source and prevented them from having been executed by the business in the first place. What I'm trying to say, in other words, first time right is definitely possible with the right technologies in place. And that's it from me for this week. Thank you for tuning in. And now back to you, Jonas.
Thank you so much, Martijn, for joining us today and for giving us some good tips on how to handle your indirect tax determination in an S4HANA implementation project. And S4HANA implementation is a good point in time to rethink your indirect tax determination. There is different types of tax determination that you need to be aware of, and how real-time reporting really puts more focus on getting tax determination right the first time. So thank you all for listening into Tax Tip of the Week. We look forward to serve you the next Tax Tip next week, also around S4HANA. Stay tuned.